everyone, it's Stephanie from My Porch Prints. Welcome back. Today we are going to be making a journal for a man, and this is going to have just a masculine theme, and it's going to be a really simple one signature journal, so there won't be a whole lot of sewing involved. We'll just sew the one signature in. And this journal kit that we're going to be using is our men's vintage journal kit, and you can see it comes with a lot of kind of guy themed ephemera. My husband's really into coffee, so I had to include that in there. And then there's like motorcycles, hats, cars, and just stuff that, I would say is kind of typical guy stuff. Photography, hunting, ships, that kind of thing. And if this doesn't have something that's like particular to your guy, it's also got a lot of neutral kind of just what I would call masculine colors and things in it. And so, if your guy's into golf or something else, you could always just include personal items that have to do with his particular interest. But today we're going to be putting this together. And just so you know, we also have a Men of Faith ephemera pack that would go really nicely with this men's vintage journal kit. And it just has a lot of like scripture in it and things like that that you could use to kind of personalize this gift if your husband needs a faith journal or like a Bible journal or something like that. So anyway, this is a good kit to complement it if you want to. So let's go ahead and get started putting this together. Okay, so to begin with, I printed all of the ephemera and things on cardstock, and then I printed like the pockets on regular paper, but you can do it however you want, whatever way which works best for you. And I printed pages from the kit like this. And then what I did was I flipped them over, ran them back through the printer, and I printed some of the printable papers on the back. So I got a nice variety of papers and then writing space. And I only picked the ones that I liked the best because I didn't want this to be too big since we're just making it one signature. So I didn't use everything in the kit. I just picked my favorites. And then for the cover, I just picked another paper I liked and printed it on cardstock, flipped it over, and printed a paper on the back as well. And that's just going to become kind of like a soft cover for the journal. And finally, I printed the page tabs on sticker paper. This is a full page sticker paper. And I cut them on my Cricut. And I have a tutorial for making stickers on Cricut. I'll go ahead and link that in the video description below if you want to do that for yourself. So let's get this cover and these pages put together. Okay, so to begin with, just make sure your pages are all right side up and that everything looks good before you start punching holes. Hopefully I've got everything in a good order here. And this journal is going to be mainly, I think, for writing or, that sort of thing. And I'm not going to want to over decorate it, so I may not use all the ephemera pieces either. My husband likes things simple, so I'm going to try to keep it that way. But we're going to take the cover and put it over our folded pages just like this. And then we're going to use a clip to hold it together. You can use whatever you have. If you don't have a clip like this, you can always use like a clothespin or whatever you can do just to keep everything kind of straight and tidy. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to punch 3 holes, 1, 2, 3, and I want them spaced evenly. So we actually have a template for a hidden spine, and I'm going to grab that and use that template to measure my holes. But if you don't want to use the template for whatever reason, you can just use a ruler and measure out your holes evenly, or you can even just eyeball it and say, this looks close. I'm just going to punch 3 holes and that looks good. So it's up to you, but I'm going to go ahead and use a template. Okay, so this is the template, and you can see it's got 3 holes. And again, this is from our hidden spine, so I'll put a link down to our shop where you can get this. Or if you're a member of our Facebook group, this will be available free in the Facebook group files. And I've got a crocodile that I'm going to be using to punch my holes. But if you don't have a crocodile, you can always use an awl or a sharp needle or whatever you have around that will work. I'm just going to make this fold match up with my pages. And then make sure it's kind of even from top to bottom. And then now we're gonna go ahead and just sew our single signature. Okay, and these are from a bookbinding kit. We have a link to our Amazon influencer shop below, and there should be a link to the bookbinding kit that we use. But this is just wax thread and then a large needle. But again, you can use whatever works best for you. If you don't have something like this, you can try using just regular like embroidery floss or something like that. So I'm gonna measure 2.5 times the length of my spine here. And then I'm just gonna thread my needle. And I'm gonna let a little tail dangle like this. And I'm gonna start from the back middle hole. And I'm gonna pull through until I leave just a little tail dangling out of this middle hole. And then I'm gonna go down to the bottom hole. And through. And then I'm gonna flip it over and go back up to the top hole. And through. And then I'm gonna finish coming back out that middle hole. Just like this. And now you can see we've got these 2 little tails dangling out this middle. And I'm going to put those to either side of our center string. So I've got one on this side, one on this side. And I'm gonna pull good and tight, not too tight, but snug. And then I'm just gonna tie this in a knot. And I'm gonna just tie an extra one because if this comes apart, the whole book comes apart. And you can snip this off or leave it, and you can add like charms to it or whatever you want to do. I think I'll just leave it for now. And a little trick, if you make this long enough, if you got like a lot of extra thread, you could always use it as a tie around your book as well. So that's something to think about if you want to do that. Okay, and now that's just a really easy way to make a single signature book. This is also a good way to do books if you're doing gifts for people and you just want to make something quick and simple. You can make a little journal pretty fast. But here we go. Okay, so now gets to be the fun part where we decorate a little bit. And I decided I wanted this image for the cover. And I went ahead and run it through the sewing machine just to give it a little extra something, give it a little vintage look. And so I'm going to make this part of the cover, I think. And you can add, you know, cheesecloth or whatever if you want to give it some texture. But again, my husband's a simple kind of guy, so he likes things, you know, not too frilly, I guess. So I'm going to try to keep this simple for him. And part of the reason I chose this for the cover is I think I'm going to give this to my husband as a way to document his motorcycle trips that he takes. He talked about wanting to write down some of the places that he goes and the things that he sees and does. He could put photos in here, so it's kind of fun. He could write down his favorite coffee shops that he visits. And, you know, if this is for a guy in your life, you know, think about their special interests when you're decorating, I guess. You know, what kind of things they might want to record in here. And that might help you to have a focus for your theme and your, you know, ephemera and things. Okay. So now is the part where you just personalize it however you want. I'm going to go ahead and just add a few things and you can craft along. Okay, so we're just about done with our journal, and I'm going to add a few more finishing touches. I did cut out a few pieces from the Men of Faith ephemera pack, and I'm going to go ahead and add those to the journal as well. And then this is just a piece of one of the papers that come with the Men's Vintage Journal Kit. And I just printed it out on paper, and then I glued it to a piece of cardstock front and back. And I'm going to make a little closure for the journal. So to make the closure, I've got these Velcro dots. And I'm going to go ahead and just peel a couple of these off. And I think this is going to be the front part. I like this little rivet here. And if you want to, you could round your corners on this. I'm trying to decide if I want to do that. I think I'll just leave mine straight. And I'm not going to stick this on yet because I want to see how long I need it to be. Probably right here. So I'm going to cut just a little bit off the back. And a little distress ink there. And I'm going to go ahead and just glue this to the back like this. Actually, I think I'll stick it on the front so I know exactly where I want it. Okay, and now we've got a cute little closure for the book. And then I'm going to add these pieces and we'll take a look. Okay, so here is our single signature softcover men's journal. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. Alright everyone, thank you so much for crafting along with us. We'll put all the links down below to items that we used today, and we hope to see you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel if you want to see more projects like this, and also sometimes we have freebies as well, so stay tuned for those, and we'll see you later. Bye!